Hi everyone, I want to go over the 3D data streaming package from Unity Cloud, what it's for, what's its advantage, and when are you supposed to use it versus, just importing your stuff in Unity. So I have a model here. It's a residential tower, just imported directly in Unity. It's a Revit file that I've imported into Pixie Studio to be able to read it and then just export it as a prefab as is. These types of files are notoriously big. In this case, the poly count isn't that high. It's 4 million polys, but you'll see the batches are through the roof at 21,000 for a model this size. It's actually way more batches than you need. Then if you had shadows, effects, and all of that stuff, the batches will just keep going higher and higher and higher. But the advantage of having a model like this in Unity is that you can start adding, different components to it, adding animations. Really, you can set up your scene as you want and be very creative with the content. And if you need to optimize it to import in Unity, of course, you can use things like Pixies to be able to, merge some things based on metadata, based on object name and all of that. But if what you really just want to do is see the object or see your model and do nothing else with it, 3D data streaming is probably your best bet. In this application, this is the reference project which uses 3D data streaming. I'm going to open the same model, and right away you're going to see a big difference in batches. The way data streaming works essentially is that you pre-process the model in the cloud into a format that is streamable in the runtime. And when I say streamable, it means the geometry is being streamed. It's not that it's rendering in the cloud and then streaming the results. It's really the geometry that is being streamed from the cloud. If I open my stats tab, you'll see that triangle count, first of all, is 1.5 million instead of 4 million like it was before. And the batch count is way, way, way lower at not even 400 compared to the 21,000 that we had in Unity previously. And the cool thing about data streaming is that it works very, very similar to LODs in concepts. So level of details, as you're very, very far from the model, you have a low resolution version of the model. You'll see my triangle count went down to 100K. And you'll see in the editor window here, I can probably show you that the resolution is a bit lower. But as I move closer, things get loaded dynamically and you get higher resolution. Now, the particular aspect of data streaming and the way it's processed is that when you're very, very far away, your object is actually one big object to reduce the number of batches. You'll see here it's only 21 batches. And as I get closer, the entire scene that is being streamed is actually going to explode into its components. So at this range, you'll see that all my windows here are in one object. And as I get even closer, some of these aspects in my scene will even explode into their components, so I can even select individual objects like this. This, again, very useful to reduce the number of matches and to keep them in check. The trade-off, though, is that these objects don't exist individually in your Unity scene. They will continuously merge and unmerge and shift around. So to have a stable component on these objects is a bit trickier. We do have hooks in the data streaming APIs so that you can be notified when something gets instantiated or de-instantiated so that you can add your own components to it, like scripts, animations, and whatever else. We're also working on hooks to be able to change materials, replace objects on demand. For example, if you wanted, replace this little playground with a very, very high res custom version of it, you'll be able to do that in the future. But in general, data streaming, very useful for large, large, large models that you don't want to optimize by hand, that are fairly static in nature if you want to just visualize the thing and create functionality around it, like navigating the model in virtual reality, augmented reality, that kind of stuff. Thank you.